Welcome to the Calexico City Council, Calexico Redevelopment Successor Agency, Calexico Financing Authority, regular meeting agenda. Here today at City of Calexico, Fernando Nene Torres, Council Chambers, 608 Heber Avenue, Calexico, California. Today is Wednesday, September the 1st, 2021. It is 6:31. I will now call the roll call. Councilmember Ureña?
Here.
Councilwoman Romo?
Here.
Former Mayor Rosie Arela Hernandez?
Here.
And I believe Mr. Councilmember Garcia is absent today. He's excused absent today, and I am here today, Mayor Javier Moreno, present. Due to the declaration of emergency, this meeting is being held pursuant to the authorization from the governor's executive orders. Some or all the city council members may participate in this meeting by teleconference as authorized by the executive order N-2920 issued by the governor of California on March 17, 2020. Pursuant to Imperial County Public Health Department guidelines, city council meetings are now open for public attendance at 100% capacity of the council chambers, and all persons entering City Hall will be required to wear a face mask. Public participation will continue to be available in the following ways. 1. Members of the public are encouraged to watch the meeting via live stream at http://communityspectrum.org live at 6:30 p.m. or via the Calexico City Hall Facebook page at https://www.facebook.com City of Calexico CA. Members of the public will be able to make public comments in the following ways. 1. In person. 2. Submit public comments via email by 2 p.m. on Wednesday, September the 1st, 2021 to our city clerk, Gigi Garcia at calexicoca.gov or via fax to the number 760-768-2103. These comments will be read aloud during the meeting. So now we're going to go to the Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand up. Mr. Figueroa, can you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance? Thank you.
Right hand over your heart. Ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please remain standing. Mr. Ureña, could you read the mission statement, please?
Mission statement, City of Calexico. Together,
We pledge to provide effective and efficient services in a courteous and respectful manner to improve the quality of life for all in our unique border community, Viva Calexico.
And now we have our Chief of Police, Mr. Gonzalo Gerardo, with the invocation.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I've always wanted to do this. So one of the things that I have, and I'll share with you, is every year I buy a book which has 365 days of prayers. And it's one page. So I'm going to share a reading that I thought would be appropriate for this meeting. And it's called No Reason. It's 2 Timothy verse 1 through 7. God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of the sound mind. Thank you, Lord, for sharing your spirit with us. Lord, the spirit instruction strengthens me and gives me understanding, showing us the path of righteousness in a world that hates your righteousness. Your Holy Spirit reminds us of your faithfulness and the promises you will fulfill when you come. You spur us on to persist through the attacks that they try to scare us into not finishing our walk on this path. Holy Spirit, strengthen and empower us. Give us the tools that we need to resist fear and be courageous in the face of adversity. We trust you. Father, And I put hope in you. Continue to help us stay devoted to you and to the renewal of our thoughts, dreams, and desires. May your kingdom come soon, Lord, and your will be done on earth. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Chief Hidalgo. You can be seated now. Our next item is the approval of the agenda, and there's, Mr. Figueroa, I believe that there's a few changes.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, if you allow me, I can go through the items.
Okay, please do.
At this time, per my request, I am recommending that we add an emergency item to the agenda. The item reads as follows: approval of resolution of the City Council of the City of Calexico pursuant to Public Contracts Code Sections 20168, finding that an emergency exit due to the need to repair one sewer manhole at the intersection of Imperial Avenue and 6th Street, and authorized contracting without competitively bidding a contract pursuant to PCC Section 22050. At this time, Mayor, I request a motion to add this emergency item to the agenda.
Thank you, Mr. Figueroa. Make a motion to approve the agenda with those changes. Anybody second that?
I will second that motion.
Mr. Ureña seconds it. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried 4-0. Thank you, Mr. Figueroa.
Thank you, Mayor. Now that that item has been added, there is a second request to please table items on the agenda 2 and 12 for the meeting of September 15th, 2021. At this time, I request a motion to approve the agenda with the addition of the emergency item and tabling items 2 and 12 for the meeting of September 15th. So you guys already approved adding the emergency item. At this point right now, what we need is the approval of the agenda with the removal of those two items.
Thank you, Mr. Figueroa. I make a motion to approve the agenda as stated by Mr. Figueroa. Any discussion?
No.
No?
Fair motion to approve. No.
Okay, second by Ms. Romo. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay, motion carried 4-0.
Thank you.
That is all, Mr. Figueroa?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. Okay, now we have presentations, and today, I'm going to say it in English first, y después lo digo en español, con todo respeto. Well, good evening. I would like to thank Mexicali Mayor here in our presence, Maria Guadalupe Mora Quiñones, and her staff, who honor us with your presence today. As we all know, Calexico, relations with its sister city, Mexicali, are as important as complex as with any country in the world. Our relations with Mexicali have a direct impact on the lives and livelihoods of Americans, whatever the issue is: trade, economic, migration, the environment, and now the pandemic. As sister cities, we are partners enjoying a broad and expanding relationship. The city of Calexico has been cooperating with Mexicali more closely than ever to improve the lives of families and ensure we all live in a safe and healthy environment. A strong partnership with Mexicali is critical because we are more directly connected with each other in our daily lives. In view of the established relations and growing cross-border activities between the municipality of Calexico and the municipality of Mexicali, and in recognition of the benefits of cooperation, we must continue our agreement through what I believe is a memorandum of understandings. This MOU is to establish a collaboration mechanism to strengthen and promote our international cooperation and continue to enhance our communications. Antes que nada, quiero dar las gracias a la alcaldesa de Mexicali, María Guadalupe Mora Quiñones, y todo su personal que nos honran esta noche con su presencia aquí en su casa, el Palacio Municipal de Calexico. Nuestra relación con Mexicali ha sido parte fundamental de la historia actual de Calexico. Prácticamente ningún tema de la agenda binacional escapa a la influencia que ejerce nuestro vecino. La frontera que unen a ambos países se ha convertido en algo más que un espacio de contacto entre dos naciones. En realidad, los acontecimientos políticos, económicos, sociales y culturales, y hoy en día la pandemia, afectan transversalmente la vida de todos nosotros. Cabe señalar que debemos de asegurar que tanto Calexico como Mexicali trabajemos juntos para abordar los problemas que impactan nuestra frontera para el beneficio de ambos pueblos. Hoy se llevará a cabo la firma de un memorándum de entendimiento entre el Ayuntamiento de Calexico y el Ayuntamiento de Mexicali. Dicho instrumento tiene como finalidad materializar los esfuerzos de ambas dependencias que buscan la colaboración entre Calexico y Mexicali. Dicho eso, quiero darle la palabra a nuestra alcaldesa, si gusta decir algo. Tenemos a la izquierda un micrófono y tenemos allá también, si gusta. ¿Sí?
Muchas gracias. Muy buenas tardes a todas, a todos los presentes. Pues es para mí un honor estar aquí en este recinto oficial, ahora sí, el City Hall o el recinto de Palacio Municipal, como le llamamos nosotros, gobierno municipal de aquí, de nuestra ciudad hermana, Calexico, California. Comentaba hace rato a un periodista que hemos ido, a través de los años, hemos crecido juntos, Mexicali y Calexico. Somos ciudades hermanas por muchas situaciones que nos unen en tema de compatriotas trabajando aquí, desarrollándose aquí, viviendo aquí ya con sus familias, otros la parte trabajadora, agrícola, que ha sostenido al estado de California y por qué no decirlo al Valle Imperial, con nuestra mano de obra de también nuestros queridos compatriotas, esa parte también de comercio que hemos siempre fortalecido ambas ciudades. El tema de la salud, como bien lo dice el Mayor Moreno, ha sido uno de los distintivos últimamente para crear esa fortaleza de hermandad y esa parte que nos hace vulnerables, como es el tema de una pandemia y que ha azotado a todo el mundo, pero que nosotros como frontera, como ciudades hermanas, hemos vivido también y hemos estado apoyándonos mutuamente y cuidando esa parte que es la más importante de un ser humano, que es la salud. Por eso hoy estamos pues de plácemes, de fiesta. ¿Por qué? Porque estamos consolidando un convenio donde, si bien es cierto, siempre hemos tenido esa relación tan cercana, tan de hermandad, hoy la plasmamos y la fortalecemos para que continúe esto a través de las distintas administraciones que vengan en Mexicali o en el mismo Calexico. Esto se tiene que quedar para siempre. No podemos, hemos estado viviendo de la mano y caminando de la mano, y esto nos debe de fortalecer. Creo que Calexico sin Mexicali no pudiera ser, y Mexicali sin Calexico. Entonces hoy me llena mucho de orgullo estar aquí. Es un honor para mi equipo de trabajo, para este cabildo, este honorable cabildo, el que nos hayan invitado, y sobre todo para un tema tan importante como es continuar y seguir fortaleciendo los lazos que nos han unido y que nos seguirán uniendo. Muchas gracias, y aprecio mucho esta invitación y el estar aquí con ustedes. Muchas gracias.
Gracias, Berta. What we're going to do now is I'm going to step down there and we're going to sign the agreement, and then I will ask the city council members if they want to take a photo later on. Okay? Thank you.
Okay.
Con su permiso.
¿Por qué?
Gracias la oportunidad y nos vemos pronto.
6:57. And we have item, we tabled item number 2, so we'll move up to item number 3, which is the proclamation for the library card sign-up month, September 2021. Okay. Whereas a library card is the most essential school supply of all, and whereas libraries and librarians play a crucial role in the education and development of children, and whereas libraries offer a variety of programs to stimulate an interest in reading and learning, whereas library resources serve students of all ages, from early literacy to STEAM programs to research databases, and
whereas signing up for a library card is the first step on the path towards academic achievement and lifelong learning, and whereas a library card gives students the tools that foster success in the classroom and beyond, and
whereas libraries create welcoming and inclusive space for students of all backgrounds to learn together and engage with one another, and whereas a library card empowers all people to pursue their dreams and explore new passions and interests, and
whereas libraries are constantly transforming and expanding services to meet the evolving needs of their communities, and
now therefore be it resolved that I, Javier Moreno, Mayor of the City of Calexico, do proclaim September 2021 as Library Card Sign-Up Month in Calexico, and encourage everyone to visit Camarena Memorial Library and sign up for their own library card today. In witness whereof, I hereunto affix my signature and official seal of the City of Calexico on this first day of September 2021. Congratulations.
Just thank you. Good afternoon. Thank you so much for reading this proclamation, and just encourage the community to visit us and get their library card. The library has in-person hours, and we continue also with some curbside service hours. So visit us. We have some in-person programming. We continue with some virtual programming to try to, offer something for everyone. Those that are not able to join us or decide not to still visit in person. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Mrs. Legaspi. Thanks for all you do for Calexico. Thank you very much. Moving up to item number 4, presentation by Danielle Hernandez, Senior Resident Engineer, Caltrans, regarding project number 11080284, SR98, widening between Ollie Avenue to 0.1 mile east of Rockwood Avenue.
I'm representing the state of California, Caltrans in particular, and we already started this project. This project was supposed to start early this year, but we had some environmental constraints. But the impacts are not there yet, and they are going to start next week if everything goes according to the plan. And I'm going to go real quick, but feel free for anybody to have any questions. I can go back as you wish. This project is going to be a full rehabilitation of Route 98 from Olin Avenue to Rockwood, or just passing Rockwood. And it's going to connect the previous project from west of the post office. And it's going to be done in 6 stages, but it's going to be a complete rehabilitation of the pavement. Next slide, please. The first stage is going to be from Ollie to Imperial Avenue, the south side. So traffic is going to be placed everything on the westbound. As you can see, I hope you can see in there. In order to achieve that, we are going to have some concrete barrier in the median in order to protect the workers. But traffic, as you can see, is going to be everything on the westbound. So we encourage people to take alternate routes, but in reality, if anybody wants to go through, it's going to be access. It's just the south side that is going to be completely closed. But always providing access. In that particular, the mall on the north is going to be not affected yet. Next slide, please. Stage 2 is going to close the north side from the same limits, but that one is going to provide one access at a time to the mall. So one is going to be, the main access is going to be closed first, but the second one, the one by Rite Aid, is going to be open, and then it's going to be shifted. So we call it the stage 2 and 2A. And that was one of the commitments with us, that is going to have, the mall was going to have one access open every time. Next slide, please. Then the stage 3 is going to stay on the north side as well, but on the east side of 111. And as you can see, the concept is going to be the same. We are going to close half of the road, and then traffic is going to be using the other lanes, but always having traffic available on both directions, just reduced lanes, that's all. That's why it's very important, if you have any communication to anybody, it's just to, even though we have access, it's going to be limited access, so it's always better to have an alternate route. And we have official detour plans, but in my own experience, I mean, we always find the shortest path, because not everybody goes to the same place. So we know our city. I am your neighbor, actually. So we know our city, and we know where to go according to the time of the day. So totally encouraged to take your own route and try to avoid the area to avoid congestion. Next slide, please. That one's in concept, just a different stage. Next one, please. Then we're going to have those ones. There is sooner or later we have to go into an intersection and have a complete closure. And that one in particular is going to be challenging, 111. And then we have to close Rockwood as well. But those are going to be for one night only, and it's going to be at night. Next, please. Same with Ollie and 98 is going to be one night only. We're going to remove and replace the pavement one night, and get it open the next day. But the rest of the stations, the first stations that I showed, those are estimated to last like 2.5 to 3 months each. So total duration of the project is about 1 year. And from there, I have a lot more information. It's more detail oriented, but if you have any question, I would be happy to answer.
Well, thank you for your presentation, first of all, and I do have a couple of questions. Do you know anything else? No? Ms. Figueroa, you have anything?
Yes, sir. Mayor, members of the council, I just did want to let you know that staff from Public Safety, myself, Ms. Falomir, we had a meeting with Mr. Hernandez on a lot of the matters related, obviously, to traffic going east and west. We have a very good understanding now from the firefighter side and from the police side on some of the things that we need to be looking out for. So there's good coordination and there's good communication. So I just wanted to let you know.
Thank you, Mr. Figueroa. Couple of things. The one, so I guess you did mention something about 111, because right now we do have, obviously we do have the typical, right, the long lines both on 111 and on Cesar Chavez.
Yes.
And is that going to affect any way 111, or are you going to be working nights, or how are we going to alleviate some of that?
Well, every time that we have a lane closure, it's going to be at night, every single time. But once that we close an area, we are going to set concrete barrier. We call it K-rail. And so the contractor can work behind K-rail, fully protected from traffic. Traffic can be totally independent of the work zone. So the contractor is going to be able to work at any time, because it's not going to be impacting traffic beyond the shifting.
Okay, thank you. And Mr. Figueroa, I presume that Caltrans works directly with our public safety in terms of the 111, right?
Yes, so as a result of the project coming in, we had a meeting to precisely talk about that, talk about who's going to be the point of contact. So all that has been addressed and discussed.
All right, thank you. Just one more last thing. I did notice, if you go back to the Estrada Court, it's over here, Estrada Boulevard, it's open. Right now it's closed. So are you going to open that boulevard? You see it up here?
Oh,
It's currently closed. So this is an old map, or that, you're going to open that boulevard.
Estrada Boulevard is the one that is just west of the post office, huh?
Right, and it's like a
There's a
closed
cul-de-sac
street
there.
now.
No,
It used
that
to be-
one is permanent. That was part of the previous project.
Oh, okay, all right. So, but it's going to remain closed then?
It's going to remain.
Okay, that's all I have, thank you.
It's going to remain a cul-de-sac. And lastly, I would like to emphasize that even though we have detours sometimes or lane closures, first responders, they all have preference. We stop all the operation and provide safe passage to them. So even though it's going to have a reduced traffic or reduced lanes, first responders take preference.
Thank you.
And we're going to be in coordination with Lily, so she's the one that is going to be bothered all the time by us.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Moving up to item number 5, the bi-weekly COVID-19 update presentation by Fire Chief Fabiola.
All right, good evening, City Council. Nice to see you guys, the public that's watching, and our staff that is present. Today's update for the COVID-19 will be brief, just touching on the numbers for the City of Calexico. At the moment, we have a total of 48 active cases. The grand total of cases so far for Calexico is 7,624 with 237 deaths, and the recovery rate is pretty high, 7,339. One of the things that I did want to mention is our hospitals at the moment are not overwhelmed. We have 28 patients, which seems like a lot, that are hospitalized in both the El Centro and the PMH hospital, with 9 of those patients being within the ICU. And at the moment, we have 55 beds available. If you guys recall, back early in 2020, there was no beds available. So those are confident numbers. Feels good to kind of be on the opposite side of it. Another positive thing is our positivity rate for California had a small decrease of 0.5, so we're currently at 4.6. The last 7 days it was 0.5 higher, so we're a little lower than that right there. Going to the subject of vaccinations, 72.2% of the Imperial Valley are fully vaccinated. 18.1 remaining as partially vaccinated. What that means is they've only had the initial shot and they're waiting for the second one. So that's something to be proud of, and we'll continue to push the vaccine message to everybody. It's readily available throughout pretty much any of your doctors. We do have some local organizations that are also starting to work with this vaccine. One of the programs that should be coming to is at the school. They're trying to make it available for students over the age of 12 through the school program. That has not happened yet, but we are trying to get that. One of the other questions that we're receiving a lot is the booster shot. You know, there's a conversation out there about getting the booster. The booster, however, is not yet available to the general public. If you have one of the compromised immune system, you fall into a category where you have cancer, you have organ transplant, stem cell transplant, any of that stuff, it is available for you. If the booster is not available, they're starting to recommend where you can also get one more shot of the vaccine to see if that improves for you. Sticking with the vaccine, for the testing process of this now. In Calexico, coming up on Wednesday, we're going to be doing the testing here at the One Stop in Calexico. That turned out to be a really good site because we're capturing a lot of people that are coming from Mexicali that work over here that are still able to get tested. So, you know, that's great for the community, and it's easier for our downtown. I'm not downtown, but our elderly people that live on the south side of Calexico. It's very easy for them to get there. I think that's all I have, unless you've got any questions for me.
I don't have anything.
No, I don't have any questions.
No? Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Announcements. These proceedings may be viewed at the City of Calexico website at www.calexicoca.gov the Friday the following City Council meeting. Community officer hours with Mayor Moreno will be held by appointment. Please contact the City Clerk's office at 760-768-2102 to schedule an appointment. And I continue to keep my meetings. I'm there from Monday to Friday from 8 to 5, except the day we're closed. But I do continue to have interviews with people in my office. Public comments and public appearances. Note, not to exceed 3 minutes. This is the time for the public to address the City Council on any item not appearing on the agenda that is within the matter jurisdiction of the City Council. However, if the item you wish to comment is on a consent item, please comment now. During the current state of emergency, public comments will be received in the following ways. 1, in-person comments. The mayor will recognize you, and when you come to the microphone, please state your name and place of residence for the record. While members of the public are encouraged to participate, it is unlawful to disturb or delay the council meeting with personal or slanderous remarks. 2, submit public comments via email by 2 p.m. on Wednesday, September 1st, 2021 to ggarcia@calexicoca.gov or via fax to 760-768-2103. Any comments received during or after the meeting will be distributed to the City Council and retained for the official record. The City Council is prohibited by state law from taking action or discussing items not included on the printed agenda. We do have one public comment from Frank Noriega. Mr. Noriega, please, the floor is yours.
Good evening. It's not on. Can you hear me?
Yes. Just speak a little bit closer. There you go.
Good evening.
Thank
Yes? Okay, sorry about that. So good evening, City Council and ladies and gentlemen.
So my name is Frank Noriega. I'm Dean of Students at Calexico High School. I'm here representing Principal Williams and Calexico High School. So first of all, I'd like to thank the community for voting for the bond measures because our school is looking amazing. And if you haven't been to Calexico High School lately, please go because it is looking really, really, really nice. So I'd like to invite you there. We're still under construction. There's still more to go. Thanks again to the community. So thank you for that. I'd like to say that we just started last Monday. Last Monday was the first day that 2,000 students showed up to our school. It's been, since April of 2020 that we had that many students at campus. We did start off a little bit last year, but with not that many students. So with 2,000 students coming in, everybody forgets how things run, and we all have to relearn and make adjustments as we remember, oh yeah, that's how we do this, and that's how we do that. Also, many of our families, our students, are concerned with COVID, and as many of you are, but I'd like to say that probably 95% of our students are walking into school, leaving school with their mask on. And that was surprising because that was not expected. We don't have a mandate that they have to wear a mask outdoors. Indoors, yes. But yet again, since the first day of school and even through today, like I said, probably like 95, maybe even more of our students are wearing their masks. So we really appreciate that if you're a parent here for sending your students to school with their mask and they're wearing it. Thank you to the bond. We do have some construction going on, and with that also comes some challenges. We currently do have a parking lot that is being used for construction purposes, so that has some challenges. And because of that, we keep working every day. The last week and this week, we keep making adjustments. We have our campus security team. We have our administrators. We're working every day trying to make it as safe as possible for our students. But with 2,000 students and they're all exiting at the same time at 3:10, there are some challenges. And I've been out there and it's tough. Today was humid. And I'm out there for 2 lunches. I'm out there in 3:10. And so I know what's going on. And I'm here just to say that we are working every day to make it as safe as possible for our students. We have we have the front entrance, and then we have Wardfield. They're both been modernized, so those parking lots are designed for traffic flow. So we do have buses that in Wardfield and a lot of parents that are picking up their students there. We keep making adjustments on the traffic situation. In the front, it's a little more challenging just because there's one big street there, and getting in and out of there is a little difficult. But we are working with our police department, and there are some more plans on meeting and trying to address those concerns. And I'd just like to say that there is one more small little situation that parents are concerned, a little bit more concerned than normal. So more of them, a higher percentage of them, are coming and wanting to pick up their students at the door. When before, maybe back in April, they would pick them up a couple blocks away just to avoid the traffic. But it is challenging at the beginning. Like I said, everyone getting adjusted to a new year, not being in school for a year and a half. And so I'm here to basically state that we are, thank you for what the community has done so that we can keep improving. But as we improve, as we go through construction, there are some challenges, and we are working on them. And we're willing to, again, work with the community, work with the city council, work with the police department so that we can improve, the flow and the traffic situation. And I'm also here to answer any questions that you might have.
Thank you, Ms. Noriega. I don't have anything other than thank you for all your hard work. Thank you for being here tonight. I am part of the board for the Measure V Citizens Oversight Committee, and we do take pride in everything that we do there. And because of the efforts that with the school district and now there with the board members, that project is really looking forward for better the project as the years go by. Yep. I don't have anything else to add.
Miguel?
Yes, Mayor, if I may. Chief, can you briefly just share with us some of the things that we're looking to assist the high school, please?
Yes. Testing, testing, testing. We off? Hello. Hello?
Hello, hello, there you go. All right. So it was brought up to our attention today. Ms. Romo and I guess Mr. Calderon also spoke with Mr. Figueroa and myself. And we are going to work with the school to address that issues on the traffic surrounding the schools. Mr. Noriega and I were talking right before the meeting, and we realized that a lot of these problems are caused by the schools district's new construction. Another thing that that Mr. Noriega brought up was a good point is COVID seems to have more parents, they're scared or whatever actions they're having, parents being parents, so they're trying to pick up their kids all in one spot instead of just having them walk a couple of 100 feet down and getting picked up somewhere. So we're going to try to devise a plan. Lieutenant Serrano and I also spoke, and we're going to try to come up with some sort of traffic route plan in conjunction with the school to try to get this problem mitigated. Mr. Noriega did mention that the first days of schools were worst, and it seems to be kind of fixing itself, but we are going to make some changes to some of the street closures we have. I will be asking public streets department for a sign that says no left turn. We're going to put it on Linda Avenue or Linda Street for people that use Linda eastbound to go take a right south on Encina. So we're going to work on this. We'll find some sort of solution. It's not going to be 100%, but we will try to mitigate what's currently going on. Also, I was informed by somebody that the teacher parking lot should be done in about no more than 3 months. So that means that now they'll be able to put the teachers back in the parking lot, and the students should be able to use the parking lot, and hopefully the parents will also use it better. They're using it, but they're still waiting in line to drop off their children right at the entrance instead of letting them walk, and so it's creating that backup of traffic. So we'll work on that between the school and ourselves. We'll come up with something to notify the parents, whether the school does it, and then maybe ourselves, we can do it in our part through our water bills, and then we'll put them up on social media accounts telling the parents that they have alternative places to drop off and pick up their children.
Appreciate it, Chief. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Yes, Mr. Ura?
Just very briefly. So this is a very good opportunity. Obviously, we have a very short-term problem, acute problem that we need to fix now, and the police chief has a plan. But we also have to start looking from here on forward for the transformative solution, how to tackle the problem, because the problem didn't come yesterday, right? When I went to Camarena High School in 2010, this problem was barely starting to build. We're in 2020, 2022, 2023, 2025. It's going to get to this point again, COVID or no COVID. So I'm going to defer my comments, and I'll go into what I think a solution would be like long-term in the city council comments.
Mr. Ureña, you do have a very valid point. We do need to establish something for the long term. We'll do the quick term just to try to mitigate this, but I think as a city and maybe in our future we can plan something to, I think the education of our parents, I grew up in Calexico, and everybody that grew up in Calexico, we all walked to school. And, you got Gabby that walked from where Gabby's Park's going to be off of Heber Park through Impro Avenue to go to the high school. So, nobody wants to walk to school now. Everybody's afraid, their children are afraid. So I think one of the things is we need to encourage people to walk to school and ride their bikes to school. And that would alleviate a lot of the traffic congestion. And of course, in the summertime, a little bit too hot. But when the weather's great the rest of the year, they should take advantage of that.
Thank you.
Good. Mr. Noriega?
Thank you very much.
Thank you. No, we're done. Thank you very much for your
Thank you.
presence.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
Yeah, good night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We're now for the city manager's report.
Yes, at this time, I do want to share something that the majority of you may have read already in the local media, but I formally received a letter from Police Chief Gerardo informing me of his plans to retire as police chief from the city of Calexico at the end of this calendar year. With that said, I want to recognize the support that I have received from my city council, in which we're going to embark on a comprehensive, transparent recruitment process for the next police chief. We are looking to follow all practices that will lead to the best selection possible of the next police chief in the city of Calexico. I want to make sure that our community is aware of the path we're going to follow. And then again, 30 plus years of service to the city is something that we appreciate, is something that we welcome, and something that we're proud to share. With that said, Mayor, City Council, I do want to call up the chief, and he's going to read some words for all of us, and most importantly, the community that's following us.
Wow. Testing 1, 2. So it seems like it's a shallow show today, but it's not. I mean, I just wanted to make sure that, you know, everybody here and everybody that was watching understands that this very hard decision that I made over the summer was my decision. Nobody's forcing me out. Stop calling the city council members and trying to blame them. Don't blame Mr. Figueroa. It's not his doing. It's my doing. You know, you come. In your life, you sometimes have to realize when it's time to walk away, and walk away feeling accomplished of something that you earned. So I'm going to read you the letter that I dated back August 16th, and it's very hard to keep it quiet here in Imperial County or in Calexico because it's a small city. Everybody knows it. You tell one person and it spreads like wildfire. So this was dated August 16th to Mr. Miguel Figueroa, City Manager, City of Calexico, 608 Heber Avenue, Calexico, California. Dear Mr. Figueroa, after many months of contemplating this life-changing move, with this decision, with my family, and praying for the right direction, I have decided not to ask you to renew my contract as a police chief for the City of Calexico. My contract ends December 14th, 2021, and if you allow, I plan to retire on Thursday, December 30th, 2021. I said, imagine a 5-year-old boy in 1971 attending kindergarten at Dual Elementary School. Go Owls, we used to be called Owls back then. Telling his parents and teachers that he would be a police officer when he grew up. With the help of God, my parents, my dreams came true. I became a Calexico Police Explorer in 1984, was a police reserve in 1990, and became a police officer in 1991. I rose through the ranks and made it to police chief. I want to thank you and the City of Calexico for allowing me to serve the citizens of this great community for the last 30 and a half years. It has indeed been, I'm sorry, get choked up. It has indeed been an honor and a blessing to have been given this opportunity. And I'll stop there, and I want to thank you guys because it's a dream come true. I love what I do, but like I said, I think it's time that I say, you know, goodbye. I'll still be in the community, and I'm not leaving. I still have 4 months left, but I will continue to support the City of Calexico, the citizens, my department, our department, and the men and women that I serve in this community very proudly. Thank you very much.
The second item and the final item, Mayor, that I have for you is we learned in recent days of the passing of Enrique Kiki Camarena's mother. On behalf of the city of Calexico, our condolences were given to the family.
Yes.
So I do want to point that out to our community, that this city did pay their respects.
Okay.
And it's a loss for our community. We did our part, and we're remorseful to the family, and we just wish the best in these trying times.
Thank you. Yes, Chief.
So I did brief Mr. Figueroa on this, but I just wanted to say something. Mrs. Camarena lived more than 63 years in Calexico. She died at the age of 97.
Yeah.
She lost her oldest son, Lalo Camarena, during the Vietnam War. And then in 1985, February 7th, she lost Kiki Camarena. Lady, I met her, I've spoken to her through families and being in Calexico, being a police officer. She was a very strong lady. She had a lot of heart. I never saw her really cry or weep or cry other than when she had to bury her son. And when she talked about Kiki, her eyes always lit up. So I did tell Miguel that I did speak to the family. Tomorrow they're going to get interviewed. They will have a funeral here in Calexico with the family, and I did offer our services for this as a city and the police department to help in whatever they need. So I will be coming back and I will be giving an update or through email updating you. One more note. September 11th, this year is the 20th anniversary of 9/11. The Our Lady of Guadalupe Church, the Knights of Columbus Council 4000, is inviting everyone, but especially the police and fire, first responders, to a 7 o'clock church services, Mass at Our Lady of Guadalupe. So everybody is invited. If you guys need more information, I will be passing this on to you. 20 years, it seems like yesterday. So thank you very much for your support.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. That concludes it, Mr. Figueroa. Thank you. Moving up to City Council comments and reports or meetings attended. Councilwoman, or former Mayor Ariel Hernandez.
No, I don't
Nothing?
have anything. Thank you.
You don't? Okay. Mr. Ureña?
Very briefly, I was just going, I don't have much of an update, but since traffic was mentioned, I wanted to go ahead and present a potential project that could be in collaboration between the school district, the City of Calexico, Imperial County Transit Authority, and the local air quality control district, like it's played out in many counties. I was reading in the news that Los Angeles, this 2021, as well as Riverside County, have recently this year started to offer free public transportation for all K-12 students. They know that the school districts themselves don't have enough of the yellow buses in their school busing system to make sure that every student gets from their home to school and back. So what they did is they took some air quality dollars and put that into public transit for K-12 students. Two of the biggest counties in Southern California are doing it, the most populous, Los Angeles, and the biggest in territory, Riverside. I think it's only natural for us as the most compact city in Imperial County, which is Calexico, and by compact, that's important because that means that we have the most population per square footage. It should be the easiest city to do a pilot of this in the Imperial County. We should definitely bring this up to our county board of supervisors, ICTC, school board, city council, and try to take a stab to see if this can be a long-term solution to the traffic problem that we have.
Thank you. If you have anything for me, I'll certainly look into that if you want me to help you with that. I'm interested in that. I'm familiar with that business model they have. As a matter of fact, we were talking to, Mr. Figueroa and I were talking to Assemblymember Garcia yesterday in terms of that. I think we can do something, but thank you for that. Appreciate it.
Let's go for it.
Yeah.
Thank you. And that'll conclude my
That's it?
comments.
Okay. You have anything, Mr. Romo?
Thank you, Mayor. Mr. Gonzalo Gerardo, Chalo, para los amigos. I wish your health and blessing in your new phase of life. You have a lot of to do now for the future of the new generation of police. Go ahead with it, Chalo. You have my full support. And congratulations a tu mamá, en primer lugar, porque te crió y te dio la vida. Y gracias, muchas gracias por tus palabras y por tu trabajo. I wish to express my sincere condolences to the Camarena Salazar family too. And then it was an honor to meet with Ms. Carmen Durazo, President of the Calexico Arts Council. I am very grateful to the Arts Council for all the support that year after year they give to the recreation department. Hiring teachers to teach different classes. Fiscally supporting our projects for Calexico too. Yesterday, the Calexico Unified School District President, Mr. Ciro Calderon, and myself took a tour of Calexico High School. There is currently a parking problem because parents do not have a safe place to drop off and pick up their children. I would like Mr. Mayor Moreno to ask Mr. Figueroa and the Chief of Police for our next meeting to present us a general plan of road safety of each and every one of the schools. I have maybe 12 schools of the Calexico Unified School District. The safety of students and their parents is important as well. Thank you very much, Mayor.
Thank you, Ms.
That's
Romo. I have nothing except that, Chalo, what can I say? I don't know what got you into this role when you were an explorer. I met Chalo when he was an explorer, and we go a long way as his family. And I wish you the best. I know we'll wait for the day, and I'll reserve my speech for the day. And I do have something to tell you. I really appreciate all the years you've done for this community. That's all I have. Moving forward, we got the consent agenda. All matters listed under the consent calendar are to be considered routine by the City Council, Calexico Community Redevelopment Agency successor, Agency of Calexico Financing Authority, and will be enacted by one motion in the form listed. Any item may be removed from the consent calendar and considered separately by the council. I believe we do have a
Motion to approve. Oh,
Second.
an addition?
yeah. Didn't we remove some?
Is this on the consent agenda? No, right?
No, not the consent.
Okay.
Consent
So
agenda, 6, 7, 8, and 9.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda as is.
Second.
Second by Ropo. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries 4-0. Thank you. We now have the discussion and potential items, action items. Number 10, adopt the resolution of the City Council adopting a City Commission, Committee, and Board agenda policy.
Mr. Mayor, members of the council, members of the community, one of the items that myself and our city clerk have been looking into is to make sure that we have a better structured procedure for our commissions as it pertains to the development of the agenda for every commission. One of the items that we looked at and that we've been working on is that we want to make sure that the same way that this city council has a policy for setting the agenda gets also translated and passed on to the commissions. The item before you right now specifically only pertains to adopting a policy, an agenda policy for the commissions, the committees, and the boards that the city has. It's a very straightforward item, Mayor. It's pretty much just going to bring structure to the commissions.
I have a question,
Yes.
Miguel. What is the difference in both agendas?
So basically right now, we don't have a clear policy for setting the agendas for commissions. We don't have that. So what we're looking for here is adopting something like the city council has, which is just a structure and a policy for setting the agendas.
Okay, perfect.
Right, so point of reference, it's at city council, we're tasked with creating policy as policymakers. That certainly goes a long way, Ms. Figueroa, because at the beginning, I know we were a little bit all of us here, myself included, we're a little bit, I had no experience where we're heading with it, so it's a learning process for me too. So it's also the training that we get and everything that comes into it, it makes us better persons, right, to govern better. Also, and I did bring that up at the beginning, because we're new and we created new positions and new people, and also created other internal, I want to say problems, but there were like misunderstandings, right, shortcomings. Yes. And that certainly goes a long way to facilitate that, and kudos for you. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, I motion to.
No, I'm sorry, go ahead. You make a motion?
It's fine. I make a motion to approve.
Okay, motion by, to approve. Anybody second?
I'll second that motion.
Ms. Rodriguez seconded. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, motion carried 4-0. Thank you. Item number 11, acceptance of the California Library Literacy Services Grant Award for fiscal year 2021-2022.
Yes, Mayor Moreno, members of the council, I requested Library Manager Lisette Legaspi to prepare this item before you. One, because it's always good to share with the community when we get grants for programs that are going to benefit them. At this time, one of the reasons why we have this item before you is, one, not only to accept it, but to also share with you some of the benefits that it will bring. In addition to the benefits it will bring, one of the things that we can also do is measure the success of the program in the coming months. At this time, Ms. Legaspi, can you briefly share with us the benefits that this program and this grant would bring?
Yes. So we provide adult literacy services. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
You go to that one?
No, you got to plug in that mic.
So thanks to this state grant.
Hello? I'm sorry. So thanks to this state grant, we provide adult tutoring services for those 16 years of age and older that are not currently attending school. So we recruit tutors from the community to become we recruit volunteers to become tutors, and they meet one-on-one basis, and they set some goals. It's a student-centered approach. So the student, the learner, sets some goals. So they work on towards those goals, and some goals could be, they want to be able to read better. They want to be able to help their kids at school, and so many, complete the GED course, become a U.S. citizen. So some of those, we have between at least 30 people that are working towards some of those goals. In addition to that, there was an opportunity for family literacy services. So I went ahead and applied for extra funding, and we got it, $10,000 extra, to provide special programming for families. So we're going to continue, we're going to provide even more story times, kids, and we're going to bring speakers, and so we have a big plan of additional programming to the library.
Thank you very much, Ms. Legaspi.
Okay.
Thank you. Item 13, authorize city manager to file notice of completion for street improvement project asphalt rubber composite layer overlay.
Mayor
on,
Moreno?
We don't vote on 11.
I'm sorry, we're in,
We need action on 11.
no, we just did 11, didn't we?
Do we have to approve it? Or?
The-
You need an
11?
acceptance.
Yes.
number
Do you need to
11,
approve?
Oh, yes.
Motion.
Okay, anybody make a motion on number 11 to approve?
Motion to approve?
Second.
Second by, anybody, discussion? No? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried 4-0. All right. Item number 13, authorize city manager to file notice of completion for street improvement project, asphalt rubber composite layer overlay on designated streets, project number 2020-500.
Mr. Mayor, members of the council, members of the community, in June of 2020, we went out on the procurement process to secure bids for the street overlay project. On September 2nd, 2020, the City Council awarded a construction contract for such street overlay project. At this time, it is my intent to share with you that such project has been completed. The specific streets that were improved are outlined in the backup documentation to the staff report. So at this moment, what we're seeking is just your approval to accept the notice of completion so we can close this project. I also want to share with you, like Ms. Falomir, our Public Works Admin Manager, has shared in previous meetings, we will now be coming back to this council to carry on and consider this year's street overlay project in a future meeting. This is simply to accept the notice of completion on the project that was just completed.
Okay, thank you.
So moved.
So move. All those in favor? Aye.
No, second. What is that second?
Oh, second.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 4-0. Thank you. We now, do you want us to do this at the last? This one, right?
Yeah, the item we added can be the last item,
That's why I
Mayor.
put
Yes.
on as 15, number 15, just for the record.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Item 14, introduction of first reading by title only of an ordinance reinstating city council compensation and benefits.
Motion to approve?
Excuse me, Mr. Mayor? Could we have a discussion on this? I know this was just, we had just voted on it, and you were the one that recommended for our benefits to be withdraw or suspended because for the city's purposes. So could you give us an explanation so that our citizens are aware of the reason why it was put back on the agenda?
Sure. It's not so much an explanation, but I think it's justification.
Okay.
We do have some city council members that wish to retain and some wish to not retain or wish not to accept it or, not take it. So I think it's best if we be fair enough to allow everybody, each and individually either to accept it or not accept it. That's the reason I brought that over. So it's up to each individual council member whether they want to accept it or not. That's the only difference. I think it's fair.
Well, yeah, we don't have Mr. Garcia here because he might have commented on it as well. It's just, that's my concern.
Okay.
That, we voted on it and we got a lot of criticisms about it. And the thing is that you were the one that had
Right.
recommended it along with, of course, with Mr. Garcia. And I was kind of surprised to see this on the agenda again when it hasn't even been a month that we voted on it. Okay.
All right. Any other discussion?
No.
No? I make a motion to approve.
I'll second that motion.
Second by Mr. Ureña. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 No.
Motion carried 3-1.
There one.
And now we have item number 15, which is the approval of resolution of the City Council of the City of Calexico. Mr. Figueroa?
Yes, this came as an emergency item after the agenda was published. This is the result of a project that is currently going on in which there is going to be a sewer line replacement occurring. As part of the work of the contractor, it was found that there is a corroded manhole where the project location is, which is Imperial Avenue and 6th Street. And at this point, after the assessment of the contractor and the Public Works Department, we fear that if this manhole is not repaired, we could have a substantial damage to the street, which would then cause significant trouble to the transients of a very highly used artery in our city. So with that said, that is why we're bringing to your attention this item. This has been vetted by our legal counsel. At this point, Seth, I'm not sure if there's anything you wish to add.
We received this item yesterday afternoon. We reviewed it overnight, made some little changes that were reflected in here, and so this is the proper procedure to pursue this emergency work.
Yeah.
So in terms of liability, we're trying to do something as opposed to not
That's
doing
right. I mean, the city manager and I discussed this morning, and I believe the road was shut down today because we know about the problem, and so we want to very quickly secure the area so that it doesn't get any worse and go in and do the work as quick as possible.
Good. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to approve item.
I have a motion to approve.
You second it? Ms. Romo, you second it?
Second.
Okay, and all those in, any discussion, first of all? No discussion? No? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, motion carried. 4-0. Future item, agenda items. I would like to start with, where is Mr., oh, Chief, where are you? Oh, there you are. We're on the items for future agenda. Okay. So a while back, I asked you about the speed humps. I know Palomir were working on that. Is there an update on that for next time? Maybe have an update item. Yeah, next meeting. Also, we did working on. This is for the legal on the an update on the possible resolutions that I submitted in terms of slandering remarks by the public and. Are you aware of that? I submitted something requested that.
Yes, there's actually some correspondence that was drafted as a result of that. We can definitely bring that item so we can have discussion on.
Okay, thank you. That's all I have. From our mayor, Jorge Hernandez?
No, I don't
Nothing?
have anything.
Thank you.
Not right now.
Ms. Romo, I already made a note of the
Yeah.
item you requested during your report section.
Thank you. I am second. Please, Chief of Police, presentation and the situation of the Traffic Control Department. I would like to hear a new proposal for the areas for traffic control, animal control, and 911 dispatch. That's possible for the next meeting?
Yeah, we'll get together so we can figure out exactly what you want. We'll try to get something, at least one or two of them.
Thank you. That's okay, me?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, thank you so much. That's it.
Thank you. Mr. Amedoreña? Nothing?
No new
No?
items. No.
Okay, anybody make a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Motion to adjourn.
Motion by Mr.
Second.
Amedoreña. Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, the meeting is now adjourned at 7:50.
Thank you.